The iPhone 18 Pro Max could jump to 2 terabytes storage, while Apple keeps the base price the same. That sounds generous until you see where the real price hike might land. Anything above 256 gigs. Today, we're reviewing what that means. Apple's next Pro iPhones are shaping up to be a pricing magic trick. Stable entry prices, bigger specs, and a new ultra-high storage tier. Today we're talking about the iPhone 18 Pro Max, the rumored 2 terabytes option, and the foldable that could hit $2,400. Alright, here's the headline that actually matters. Apple might introduce a 2 terabyte storage option for the iPhone 18 Pro Max for the first time. 2 terabytes on an iPhone. That's laptop territory, and for a lot of people, it sounds ridiculous until you think about what modern phones are doing. If you shoot ProRes video, if you capture spatial-style content, if you keep years of photos locally, if you download massive games, if you edit on device, or if you travel and want everything offline, storage stops being a nice-to-have and starts being the limiting factor. And Apple knows it. But the more interesting part isn't just 2 terabytes exists. It's how Apple could use it to reshape the entire pricing ladder. Because there's this blunt reality. No one is setting up a GoFundMe page for Apple. If costs rise, Apple isn't going to beg. Apple is going to repackage the lineup and charge where people feel locked in. The talk right now is that Apple wants to keep the base pricing steady for the iPhone 18 Pro and iPhone 18 Pro Max. The numbers being floated are $1,099 for the iPhone 18 Pro and $1,199 for the iPhone 18 Pro Max. That aligns with comments tied to Ming-Chi Kuo, and it lines up with the vibe of another forecast from equity analyst Jeff Pu. Pu's note says Apple plans an aggressive pricing strategy, at least for the base models. And aggressive here doesn't mean cheap, it means strategic. It means Apple wants the headline to read, "Prices stayed the same," because that headline sells phones. Why? Momentum. Apple just reported record March quarter iPhone sales in its fiscal Q2 earnings. When you're on a run like that, you don't want sticker shock to slow the upgrade cycle. So the base model stays attractive, while the upsells get creative. So here's the likely move. Apple keeps the entry storage tier at 256 gigs for the Pro line, keeps the starting price the same, and then quietly increases the price on anything above 256 gigs. That means 512 gigs, 1 terabytes, and especially the new 2 terabytes tier could get more expensive than you expect, even if the keynote never says price increase. And this is where the storage technology rumor matters, because it explains how Apple could even offer 2 terabytes in the first place. The key phrase is QLC flash storage, quad level cell. The idea is simple. You can store more bits per cell, which increases density and lowers the cost per gigabyte compared to the flash Apple uses today. More storage in the same physical space and potentially cheaper at scale. But there's always a trade-off. QLC is typically slower and has lower endurance than TLC, especially under heavy write workloads. Now, Apple has plenty of ways to mask that. Smarter caching, different controller tuning, partitioning, and software optimizations can make day-to-day performance feel the same. And for most people, it probably will. The question is who the 2 terabytes model is for. If it's aimed at creators who constantly record huge files, that's the group most likely to push write endurance. Apple could address that by making 2 terabytes exclusive to the Pro Max and pricing it like a premium specialty item, not a mainstream pick. Now let's talk about the part that's easy to miss. The iPhone 18 and iPhone 18 Air models supposedly aren't expected until spring 2027. That means the fall lineup becomes even more pro-focused, and Apple can concentrate attention on the high-end devices in September. And that's also when we're expecting Apple to introduce something that could completely distort the pricing conversation, the first foldable iPhone. Call it the iPhone Fold, call it the iPhone Ultra, call it whatever Apple decides sounds inevitable. The point is the rumored starting price range is brutal, $2,000 to $2,400. That's not a little more expensive. That's most expensive iPhone ever, by a wide margin. Now, what makes it compelling is the rumored internal display, crease-free. If Apple ships a foldable with a truly minimal or effectively invisible crease, that's a legit hardware achievement. Foldables have lived with that compromise for years, and a smoother inner panel changes how premium the device feels the moment you open it. And from Apple's perspective, the foldable also does something else. It makes a $1,199 Pro Max feel normal. If Apple drops a $2,299 foldable next to the iPhone 18 Pro Max, suddenly the Pro Max is the sensible, expensive phone. That framing is powerful. It's classic anchor pricing. Now, beyond pricing and storage, there are a bunch of rumored iPhone 18 Pro updates that, if they land together, create a very refinement plus kind of year. First, colors. Apple is reportedly refreshing the iPhone 18 Pro color selection with light blue, dark gray, silver, and a new one that's getting the most attention, dark cherry. Dark cherry is described as a mix of burgundy, coffee, and deep purple. If that description is accurate, it's basically the kind of rich, moody color that looks understated in normal light and then pops in the right angle. And yes, Apple loves a hero color. If dark cherry is the flagship shade, expect it all over the marketing shots. Next, the battery and display story is interesting because it's not the usual bigger battery rumor. The talk is that despite an augmented camera module, the iPhone 18 Pro does not get a larger battery. Instead, battery life gains are expected to come from software and efficiency improvements. That's believable, especially if Apple continues tightening power management and if the new modem helps. Which brings us to a big technical piece, the in-house C2 modem. Apple has been pushing away from Qualcomm for years, and the iPhone 18 Pro models are expected to expand that effort with C2. The promise is better power efficiency and possibly satellite-based 5G connectivity. Don't fall for that autopilot upgrade. Decide your storage tier based on your real usage, not your anxiety. And keep your eyes on that foldable, because once a $2,000 iPhone sits on the shelf, every other price tag starts looking reasonable. That's the real strategy, and it's already working in your head. So, if you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more exciting tech news and updates. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.